there. Welcome to another episode of Needlepoint TV. So today we're going to talk about how to tap into your unique creativity. See, we all are creative souls, and there is not one single person on this earth who is exactly like you. Never has been, never will be again. The reason is that you have your own unique set of character traits and your own unique set of experiences that combine to create one very special you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how you can tap into your creativity and help yourself get unstuck when you may be stuck on one of your needlepoint projects. Sound good? All right, let's dive in. So one of the things that you can do to tap into your unique creativity is to keep a journal. I have a couple of different kinds that I'm going to share with you. This is a leather-bound journal. It has just lined pages in it. It has a place for you to put the date. And another thing that I love about this journal is that it has a place for you to index or make a list of specific things that you want to maybe refer back to. So if you had a really brilliant idea, you could come here to the very front and you can index what the idea was, what it referred to, and what page the journal of the journal it's on, because the pages are numbered. Another thing I love about this journal is that it has a pocket in the back that you can use to put, whatever you might find that you want to keep up with. Maybe it's a quote that you clip out of a magazine, or a picture, or a receipt from some special event that you attended. Whatever treasures you want to keep, you can keep in the back pocket. Another thing I love is that it has a couple of ribbons to help you keep up with special places, maybe where you are in the journal, so it's easy to find where you left off. And if there's something, again, that maybe is of special interest or something that you want to remember especially, you can mark it with that ribbon too. And here's a really cool feature. You can put that little band around it and it will stay shut. So I love this journal. I'll link to the name of the company that you can order from down below. I got this on Amazon. And another thing that I got on Amazon is that I attached that didn't come with this is this nifty little pen holder. You can buy these in bulk, and you can attach them to the inside of your journal, and then you can slide your pen down into that and it'll keep up with it. So you don't have to worry about trying to search for a pen. And I will say, one of the things that makes journaling extra special is to have a really nice pen. I invested in this. This was a birthday present to myself last year, and it's just a cross pen, but I just think it's really pretty. So to have a special pen just makes the journaling experience a little bit more rewarding and fun. Another thing you can do is you can get, if you want to journal in full color, you can get markers. And these markers, good golly, Miss Molly, there are, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 20 colors in here. So you could journal in full color. There's something that I do. This is how I journal. I do what's called stream of consciousness journaling. And that is where I just sit down and I write whatever comes into my mind. I do that for 3 pages. I do it every day. And I just do it to kind of unclutter my mind. And it's amazing how much of a difference it can make in, your ability to just sweep those things aside that may be blocking your creativity, or just keeping you from being able to focus on something for any length of time. So just getting those things out of your brain and onto paper is tremendously helpful. And many times you will even find yourself solving a problem while you're writing. So, I just can't encourage you to try your hand at journaling enough. One of the things that I also do, not just with the morning pages, but I also will take some time sometimes to get like a project journal. And this is just a little paperback journal with lines in it. I use these little journals like this, to do some brainstorming or some what I call brain dumps. So what I'll do, if I have a particular canvas that I'm working on, I'll take that canvas and I'll look at the design components on the canvas, and I'll use that journal to actually brainstorm different textures that those different design components might have. And I'll brainstorm different ideas for threads that I might use for those different design components or those textures. And something else that I do as well is I'll even begin to jot down some notes and ideas about different stitches that might be, or different techniques that might be appropriate for particular design components on a canvas. So, that's just another way that you can use journaling in your needlepoint. So it's to unlock your creativity, just general journaling or stream of consciousness journaling, and then also to use a project journal to help you begin to brainstorm and brain dump some ideas for a particular project. Because a lot of times, once you start to write those things down, more ideas start to generate, and then it becomes like a snowball effect. And before you know it, you have an amazing, really collection of ideas that you can begin to use to formulate a plan for stitching a canvas. So that's the first tip, or the first idea, is keep a journal. Another way to tap into your creativity is to simply get outside. I always find that when I spend some time in nature, it's incredibly restorative. So maybe you want to get up early one morning and watch the sun come up. There's really nothing like that. I'd take early morning walks. And when I get out before the sun really has come up, to see the sun rise is a really special thing to do. Another thing you can do is just go out on your patio or on your porch and watch the squirrels, and or go to the park and watch the bunnies hop around in the grass, or the insects or the butterflies. But just soak up nature and enjoy, our beautiful world that we live in. And if you want to, take your needlepoint project with you. I mean, that's always, to me, an enjoyable thing to do, is to sit out on our back porch. We have a screened-in porch, and I love to do that. Take my project outside and sit on the swing. We have a porch swing, or in a rocking chair, and just listen to and watch the squirrels and the birds, and it's just really refreshing and an enjoyable thing. So definitely restorative. And when you restore your spirit, your creativity flourishes too. Something else that you can do in order to tap into your creativity is to get moving. I just mentioned that I take an early morning walk multiple times during the week. Well, I encourage you to do the same thing. Now, start slow. You don't have to walk, every single day. But even if you just take one day and go on what I like to call an artist's exploration. You just go out and walk around and observe nature. Pay attention. Pay attention to the sky. Pay attention to the clouds, to the trees, to the birds, and to the butterflies. All of the things that you find in nature. Really examine those things closely. I mean, you can take a stroll. You don't have to be, exercise walking. You can just take a leisurely stroll. Take your phone with you, and while you're walking, snap some pictures. If you see a particularly pretty cloud formation, take a picture of the clouds. If the sun is shining on a tree in a really interesting way, take a picture of the tree and the sunlight filtering through the leaves. All kinds of things that you can do. And then you can refer to those pictures when you're getting ready to stitch a needlepoint canvas. And what you can do is that will help you have a visual that you can refer back to for, what do clouds really look like? What does a tree really look like when the sun is shining on it? Or when the sun is coming up in the morning, is the light shining on the clouds in a particular way? I actually have some pictures I'm going to share with you, so bear with me while I share my screen. But I'm going to pull up some pictures I took when I was on a walk down at the coast not too long ago. So here you can see it was early in the morning, and there are all different kinds of clouds in this picture. You have some wispy clouds, and then you have some cumulus clouds. But the main thing I want you to notice is the way the light is shining on that cloud that's sort of in the middle of the picture. The sun was coming up in the east, and it was shining in across. I was walking towards the west, or walking westward, and the sun was shining on that cloud. And I thought, that is just so cool. When I have a needlepoint canvas that has clouds on it, this gives me a visual that I can look at to reference when I'm thinking about different stitches and threads that I might want to use on my canvas. And it also gives me that visual and reminder that there's more than one kind of cloud. They're not all big white puffy clouds. I mean, this one almost has a yellowish cast to it because the sun is shining on it. So I have another one, like, look at this. You can definitely see how the sun is shining on on portions of the clouds. And some of the clouds are more in the shade. So if you take pictures, and this is just another image without the telephone wires in it, but just another image of the different kinds of clouds. Again, more clouds. Collect pictures, collect images, and keep them in folders, either on your computer or you can put them in folders on your phone. And then you have a visual that you can refer to over and over again. It's also really good for color reference. If you're trying to remember, well, what color should I do? What should I stitch the sky? What color is the sky for real? Sometimes an artist will paint a canvas and they'll use a blue, but it's not necessarily the real blue of a sky. You can use your images to as a reference point. So, and I think this is a really interesting picture of the play of light on clouds. So all kinds of things that you can do in order to have some visual references, take pictures not just of clouds or of the sky, but take pictures of things like maybe the rooftop of a house a house with an interesting roof. Take pictures of tree bark. Take pictures of the sidewalk, of the street, bricks on a house, the siding on a house. All these kinds of things, you can begin to create a visual reference library of different textures that you can, and colors that you can use when you begin to create plans for stitching a particular canvas. Another thing about exercise is that it clears your mind and it boosts your mood. So a happy and unencumbered mind is definitely going to be a more creative mind. When you aren't feeling like pressured with all of those thoughts, you don't have so many things swirling around in your mind. It opens your mind, frees your mind to looking at things from a different perspective, looking at things from different angles and thinking about them in new ways. And it generates new and interesting ideas. So keep that in mind too. And again, like I said, you don't have to dive in and walk every single day. But one of the things that I committed to in July was to walk 5 days a week. And the way I keep up with it, there are a couple of things you could do. You could use what they call a habit tracker. We have our Needlepoint habit tracker where, I encourage you to mark every day, to stitch just a little bit every day. And that marking that habit will help you to get into the habit, to establish that habit. Well, you can do the same kind of thing for walking. I actually don't use a special habit tracker. I just put a star with a pink marker on my calendar, my wall calendar. So, and honestly, if I haven't walked, for the day, I'll look and I'll think, do I really want to let that day go by without walking? Because I can't put my star up there. And I know I'm probably type A, and it's like, yeah, I just can't not have that star. So far, I've managed to either on the day I'm supposed to walk, I've managed to get the walking in, or I've made up for it on one of the days that I don't walk. So I walk 5 days a week, try to walk 30 minutes because that's what's encouraged for people to, get 100, I think it's 150 minutes of exercise a week. So I walk and many times I take a morning walk and I take my cell phone with me and I snap pictures. So I'm not walking to, win a race or anything, but I use it as an opportunity to get some exercise, to clear my mind and to capture some interesting things that I might be able to apply to my needlepoint projects. So this next tip for tapping into your creativity is a really fun one, and it's all about play. And I think that's something that we forget to do as adults. I think we forget how to play. I'm learning or rediscovering my ability to play with this new granddaughter that we have, and it has been such a blessing. Now we're not, coloring or baking cookies yet, or doing any of those kinds of things, but just to play and just to remember, what it's the joy that comes from just slowing down and enjoying the company of someone else, and just doing silly fun things with her, making funny noises and making silly faces and stuff like that. That's the kind of play I'm engaging in right now. But it's also encouraged me or caused me to think, gee, there's a school with a playground not too far from here. I wonder what it would be like to just go over. I could actually, even on my morning walk, take a detour and just go hop on a swing and just swing, like I did when I was in elementary school. So, yeah, there are all kinds of opportunities for you to engage in play, whether you want to get a coloring book and some markers and they even have adult coloring books. I'm sure you've probably seen those. Color, get some watercolors at the craft store and some paper and watercolor, do some watercolor pictures. You don't have to do anything that's like a masterpiece. I mean, my goodness, this is just for fun. It's just to enjoy. Get a box of 64 crayons. Good golly, there used to be nothing more fun than to get that brand new box of 64 crayons at the beginning of the school year. And I'm sure you'll be able to find them now, because with school just getting started, the office supply stores are probably full of crayons, as well as places like Walmart and Michael's and things like that. So, get some paper and crayons and just draw and doodle and just have fun. Or get some Play-Doh. I used to love to play with Play-Doh. And I think, quite frankly, I probably still would love to play with Play-Doh. So, there are all kinds of things you can do to play, whether you go to maybe go to a museum that has a children's museum that has some fun exhibits. Take a grandchild or your child or a neighbor's child to a children's museum and engage in the activities there with the child. Or play hopscotch. Teach a child how to play hopscotch. I don't think a lot of kids probably know how to do that these days. There are all kinds of things that you can do, or just turn up the radio and dance to some fun music. But enjoy yourself. Don't forget to have fun, because there's just nothing like engaging in some enjoyable activities to lift your spirits and to just make you feel better. So that's another thing that you can do to tap into your creativity. Oh, and one more thing that you can do when it comes to play, gee, I nearly forgot this one, is to just grab a doodle canvas. Just a blank piece of canvas, mount it on some stretcher bars, get some different threads. If you have a local needlepoint store, go and grab some threads you've never played with before, never used before, or dive into your stash and pull out some threads and test out some different combinations with different stitches. Not to be doing this because you're trying to solve a problem, but just to play, just to literally, instead of doodling on a piece of paper, doodle on your needlepoint canvas, on your blank needlepoint canvas. Play around with like I said, different textures. Just do some freeform stitching. You might just test out how a thread behaves on different sizes of needlepoint canvas. So definitely remember that you can play with a doodle canvas. Doodle canvases are not just for testing out stitch and thread combinations for a specific project. They're definitely there for you to be able to utilize, just to have some fun with. So that's another thing, again, like I said, that you can use when it comes to your needlepoint hobby to get yourself into some a kind of a play mindset. And finally, I encourage you to be a lifelong learner. You know, I've been doing needlepoint for a really long time, and I've learned a lot through the years. I know that I don't know all there is to know about needlepoint, though, and I never will. But I'm committed to learning as much as I can, and I love to share what I learn with my students and with my followers. So, it's just something that brings me great joy. And I find that as I learn new things, it really opens up new doors and new opportunities for me to try out those new things that I've learned. And many times it sparks an idea. And sometimes it's when I'm maybe at an art museum looking at an exhibit, or it could be if I was attending a concert. and listening to the music. Sometimes music inspires ideas. So there's so many ways that you can broaden your horizons, and I encourage you to get out and go and do things to broaden those horizons, whether it is to attend a lecture or visit an art museum or an art exhibit, or go to a concert, or read a book. Go to the library and check out a book, check out an autobiography or a biography of someone that you admire. And then, of course, you got to read the book. But, do that. Learn new things. If there's something that you want to learn how to do, Google it and test it out or try it out. One of the things that I've thought about giving a whirl here lately is doing iced cookies. I love cookies, and I think that might be kind of a fun, another creative outlet that might be kind of fun. So I haven't really investigated it yet, but learning how to do something new that's interesting to you can definitely develop your creativity in ways. It gives you a different perspective, a different way of looking at things that you can then apply to your needlepoint projects too. So there you have it, my friend. 5 ways that you can tap into your unique creativity. And remember, you are one of a kind. Your interpretation of your needlepoint canvases is uniquely yours. And you have so many resources at your fingertips. I am so honored that you choose to follow our YouTube channel. And I encourage you to check out the blog, our weekly blog over on the Serendipity Needleworks website. I'll make sure that I link that down below. If you've enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done that, so that you're able to get notices when new episodes go live. And I also encourage you to sign up for Needle Notes. I'll include the link for that down below too. That's our weekly email that goes out that gives you all the inside scoop from Serendipity Needleworks. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you have a terrific rest of your day. And I would love to hear from you. If you're going to try one of these ideas to tap into your unique creativity, tell me down in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Have a terrific rest of your day. And until next time, my friend, happy stitching. Bye for now.